M777 towed 155mm howitzers in the hands of the soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine have been destroying the Russian army for more than a month. During this time, the howitzers have proven themselves as a simple and effective weapon that has a number of advantages over Soviet counterparts. Today, the M777 howitzers take an active part in the destruction of the Russian army in Kherson Oblast. Artillerymen of the 406th Separate Artillery Brigade, named after Major General Alexei Almazov, told Army Inform how the American howitzer helped them liberate the region. As the gunner with the call sign Den tells, his unit has destroyed more than 200 targets in the last 1.5 months, and these are the ones that have been confirmed. Among the M777's targets are self-propelled artillery batteries, ammunition warehouses, Russian tanks and infantry fighting vehicles, and even two S-400 air defense missile systems. The last two were destroyed as accurately as possible. Both shots hit the target. Gunners speak very positively about this American howitzer, noting that it is a good example of a weapon that they would like to continue to use without returning to the old systems. Among the advantages of this howitzer are the traditional high accuracy, maneuverability, and long range. The M777 performs its combat mission quite quickly, firing 5 shots per minute, hitting targets at a distance of 40 kilometers. The fighters also note the ease of operation of the M777, which has technically more successfully thought-out components, as well as the weight of the howitzer, which depends on how quickly the calculation leaves the firing position. The weight of the M777 is about 4.2 tons. Meanwhile, Ukraine says tanks and equipment abandoned by Russian troops during counteroffensives conducted by Kiev have more than doubled their firepower. The press service of the National Guard of Ukraine said on Friday that ammunition, tanks and equipment left behind by Russian forces are helping Ukrainian troops to effectively carry out a counteroffensive in the southern Kherson region. The firepower of the National Guard has increased at least twice. National Guard fighter Yuri Tarasov was quoted as saying, "Tazarov said Russian troops have left behind modern equipment in good condition." The newest example is the T-80 tank. The BMP-3 is also in full working condition. Made in 2021, even with the documentation, they left everything at our disposal, he said. "It's good that we have stupid neighbors who left the equipment in such condition." The National Guard said this abandoned Russian equipment was honestly seized, and that there's so much of it that a group had to be created to transport it from the liberated territories. Last month, the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, shared photos that showed examples of the huge arsenals of ammunition and equipment left behind by Russian troops as they retreated amid a Ukrainian counteroffensive. The images, published by the SBU's press service on Telegram and Twitter, show an abandoned vehicle and what appears to be boxes of ammunition and equipment in an unsupervised storage space in Izium, in Ukraine's southern Kharkiv region. Russian invaders, under pressure from Ukrainian soldiers, are fleeing in such a way that they are leaving behind entire arsenals of ammunition, the SBU said. "We know what to do with them, and we will definitely use them for their intended purpose, against the enemy." Anton Gashenko, an advisor at the Ukrainian Ministry of Internal Affairs, also said on September 11 that Russian soldiers had fled so rapidly amid Kiev's counteroffensive in the region that they were leaving behind half of their equipment. Gashenko shared a video on Twitter that he said shows an abandoned Russian tank in Izium. Footage taken in Kharkiv by a U.S. volunteer and shared with Newsweek last month also showed Russian tanks abandoned in the region. Ukrainian efforts are now concentrated in the southern Kherson region, which was seized by Russian forces in the early days of the war. Kiev has taken back settlements along the western bank of the Dnieper River since early September. Ukraine's defense minister has said wet weather and the terrain is complicating its southern offensive. First of all, the south of Ukraine is an agricultural region, and we have a lot of irrigation and water supply channels, and the Russians use them like trenches, Alexei Reznikov told a press briefing on Wednesday. It's more convenient for them.